everybody. On this week's Saints Happy Hour, I'm going to tell the St. Brown brothers or whoever they are and all Lions fans to shut the hell up about the Saints. Keep them out of your mouth. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
Oh! All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. If you find us on the YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to the audio-only version, please go to saintshappyhour.com, subscribe, become a patron, support the show so we can keep doing this every single day. And you get access to our Discord where we're talking Saints nonstop. Me and Kevin are constantly hanging out in there. It's a great place to join. And we have a special thank you gift for anybody who signs up before Saints season starts in September. All right, we got Thomas running the show. All right, Kevin, today we're flat out. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted.
Why?
I'm disgusted with Saints. I'm disgusted.
What's going on?
I'm disgusted with Saints. I'm disgusted with two.
What did media do to you today, Ralph?
Yeah, well, I'm disgusted with two things. First of all, I'm disgusted with Saints Twitter. Saints Twitter, all this, when other fan bases or other fans or other teams, players, when they talk about the Saints, and Saints Twitter's like, well, I can't disagree with that because Dennis Allen is lame and where the Saints aren't any good and blah, blah, blah. We just have to sit and take it. I'm like, no. Other fan bases, they don't get to criticize the Saints. Only criticism that is acceptable about the Saints comes from inside the house, okay? The Saints' performance level doesn't matter, okay? I'm not taking shit from other fan bases, okay, ever. And second of all, I'm definitely not taking crap from the Detroit Lions and the St. Brown brothers, Equanimous and Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Thomas, play that clip of them talking on their podcast, and one of them is just crapping all over the Saints. This is unacceptable. Play the soundbite, Thomas.
We got better. You guys didn't.
How'd you guys get better?
We revamped the secondary.
You guys lost receiver.
We lost one.
Second lead receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
But we revamped the secondary.
It's not gonna help much.
Got a D lineman. That's a dog. DJ Reader. Like, it's over.
Is everyone a dog on your team? Like,
you'll see.
is everyone a dog?
Yeah, we have one of the best rosters in the NFL, actually.
Oh, okay. That didn't help you in the NFC Championship, did it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 prime.
You know what's crazy? There's only one winner after every season. You know that?
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Okay, so like you're acting like you.
2 + 2 is 4.
You act like
Yeah,
you won
we
a Super
know
Bowl.
that.
You didn't win a Super Bowl.
Okay, only one team won the Super Bowl,
Exactly, and it wasn't you guys.
and we're chasing it.
I know.
Like, we're actually.
Everyone's chasing it. You're chasing it just like us.
No. We're actually chasing it.
No, you're
You
chasing
guys-
like everyone else chasing it.
Listen,
Every
you
year,
guys get the team-
every year is a new season. Like
That's something I want to say. Everyone gets in the team meeting room, like, coach is like, what do you want to do? Like, what are your goals? No one in your fucking room thinks that you're going to win a Super Bowl. Like,
That's cap.
honestly.
no, we do.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Us, like, we know we can do it.
They know they can do it. They had a 24-7 lead, Kevin, and they blew it. What have the Detroit Lions accomplished in the last 50 years?
Let's see. Last 50, they won their first playoff game ever. Like in the Super Bowl era. They won their first playoff game in 1991 and then went to go jam out to Color Me Bad and CNC Music Factory and listen to More Than Words by Extreme. After that, you got to go back to 1957 when they won the championship. Then at that time, you're rocking Pat Boone, Fats Domino, and Elvis Presley. Before that, you got to go back to 1935 And at that point, I don't know what the hell music is playing at that time. I don't know, some, 23 Skidoo type shit. But before the war breaks out. Look, the Lions, I like I like Detroit as a city. I was rooting for the Lions. I think most of us, most reasonable people, were rooting for the Lions last year. Particularly in the NFC.
Only because it was against the 49ers, and I hate them.
I wanted it to happen for them. And they gagged it away.
Gagged.
They gagged that shit away. And it was frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
I did like how Equanimous did point out, like, there's only one team that wins the title. Only one team wins the championship. Okay, yes. Only one team wins the championship. So you have to be able to, as a player, look at that and say, all right, so then what are we doing? What steps are we taking to get
better,
closer to that? What steps are we taking to get in contention for that? Yada, yada, yada. As a fan base, you have to say, was the season overall fun? You say this. It's like, how many weeks into the season am I gonna, abandon ship, or am I just sort of like looking at it like, okay, this is a sunk ship and we gotta scuttle.
We gotta sink it. We gotta get it to the bottom of the ocean as quick as possible.
Right.
So we can swim to shore. Hey,
I don't know. And I would like to know what does Amon St. Brown know about the Saints locker room, saying that nobody believes
that they can win a title. Exactly.
And I mean, look, I have a hard time. Well, for starters, that's my first question. Like, an actual journalist or a reporter should ask Amon St. Brown, hey,
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra, sorry. Great name. I love the name. Amon
the Pharaoh.
Egyptian god,
Brown.
man. Egyptian god.
Yeah. No. I get it. Like the Egyptian. That's me being a fool and not remembering that. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has to ask him, like, what do you know? Who in the locker room you talk to? Obviously, you have your brother in there. So then, is your brother telling you anything that, like, has something your brother said led you to think that? Or have you talked to other players that are currently on the Saints that lead you to think that? I don't. Look, athletes are still human beings. We can always, there's people that always say if I was making $20 million a year, I'd just shut up and do this. I'd show up and do this and that. It's like,
just dribble.
No, you wouldn't.
That's right.
No, you wouldn't. You're a human being, just like anybody else, and they're human beings just like anybody else. So all the little things that that regular people complain about, they complain about too. It just so happens they happen to have a skill set that allows.
But here's my
money more.
Here's my thing.
Like, do you hate where you work? Do you hate your job? Do you hate your boss? Do you not get along? Well, just quit. Just walk in on Monday. And just quit. Don't even give the 2 weeks. Just quit. I'm sure it'll work out fine for you.
Here's my thing.
You can do that, right?
Here's my thing with this. Okay. I know what time it is with the 2024 Saints. I know let's be real. You talked about wanting your season if only one team wins the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
And you want the seasons to be, if you can't win the Super Bowl, you want the seasons to be fun. And the thing is, Dennis Allen, he's not fun. It's not fun. It hasn't really been. They won 9 games last year, but it wasn't really fun.
Right. All the people that complain that Ralph or me or this podcast like sugarcoat shit, listen to that.
Yeah.
Listen to that. He's acknowledged it. We've all said it collectively. Everybody on the podcast has said at some point or another, we are not confident in DA. We are not, believe me, we ain't doing that meme where it's like the person's laying in bed and the soldier or whatever, taking knives and bombs in their back. That ain't us with DA. That really is not us. We have said if things don't improve, then get his ass out of here. We've said that.
Yes, but I'm not listening to it from a St. Brown brother. I'm not listening to it from, you wouldn't listen if Falcons fans said it, if Falcons players said it, if Carolina was like, Saints aren't a Super Bowl contender, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear it. And my thing is, if I don't want to hear it from the NFC South, I don't want to hear it from nobody.
I would like to see that scenario. I would like to see a Falcons player publicly, a current Falcons player publicly, say that the Saints are not a Super Bowl threat. Because I want to see how the people are going to react to that.
You got
Is it going to be? I mean, look, I hate the Falcons, but it's like, listen, man.
No.
why are you making this more of a drag than it needs to be? Why are you making this thing a drag? This is supposed to be our entertainment in the fall and the winter, and here you come, we all
I'm gonna steal.
Get it? Derek Carr is not Drew Brees. No shit.
Yeah.
Shit, my guys.
I'm gonna steal a line.
Sean Payton. We get it. We fucking get it.
Here's the thing. All right. I am not in the business of defending the Saints to other fan bases. When I discuss the Saints with other fan bases, their performance is irrelevant. I am on attack, all right? I don't want to hear it from Rams fans. They don't have Rams fans. They're all bots, okay? Falcons fans barely show up. Carolina fans, y'all get more enjoyment about insulting your owner than you do watching the games. And Tampa, you're basically irrelevant. You've won the division 3 years in a row. No one cares. You're dying to have a rival. No one in the NFC South gives a flying fuck about you. All right?
Right.
The rest of the NFL?
Again, despite the fact that you won one recently with Tom Brady.
We don't care. It's his Super Bowl, not yours.
You guys are, and nobody's all the Tom Brady highlights. It's going to be the Patriot stuff, the Patriot stuff, and then in the last 5 minutes of the documentary, congrats, you guys are the footnote.
That's right.
Congrats.
Yeah. People, it immediately went into Tom Brady's column, that Super Bowl. Tampa. People, if you ask people how many Super Bowls that Tampa's won, they'll probably be like, they won that one with Warren Sapp. And then they'll think for a minute and be like, oh yeah, they won with Brady. But here's the discussion that I want to also get to, and then we'll get out of here. Is there a moment where my belief that I never accept another fan's insults about the Saints? Is there a level, Kevin, where the Saints would be so bad that I would have to shut my mouth and not attack other fan bases? Because I believe there is no level the Saints could sink to where I have to shut up and not insult other fan bases and take it from them. But am I wrong and being delusional and being crippled and drinking too much? Is that the wrong attitude to have?
It's a little delusional. It would be a little delusional if the Saints went on a long streak of not making the playoffs, and then we all collectively started talking shit to a franchise that consistently made the playoffs. In a vacuum, on paper, I understand if somebody says something to me at my job who watches the games on the weekend or follows the games be like, man, what did the Saints do? What happened to the Saints? And I'm like, yeah, this happened, and you know, they're not taking care of this. And then the other guy just like shrugs, and it's like, man, shakes his head, and it's like, yeah, that's terrible. And I was like, yep, I know. And then we just keep going. And then we go. That's it. Like, I get that. But this idea that I got to sit here or any of us got to sit here and take some kind of extended verbal abuse from anybody is, I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I'll give you an example.
But does that just so my hypocrisy meter is going off in my brain because listen, the Falcons are going to get trolled for 28-3 until all life on Earth ceases to be in about 4 billion years or so, or like until the sun expands so much and then torches the Earth. Don't they have to take that? Or is it a case of, well, I mean, you can't argue back, but I mean, you just look silly.
I mean, thank the Lord in heaven, I'm not a Falcons fan, but I mean, I'd be like the guy in Monty Python. Like it's just a flesh wound. Like I gotta fight the good fight because it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing for me. So the only thing I was going to say is with this, as we go into 2024, where are you going to get your fun from the Saints besides winning? Because the Saints went 9-8 last year, Kevin, and it wasn't really, I will agree with the DA haters and all. Like it wasn't really it wasn't a fun year. They didn't have a comeback wins. They didn't have it wasn't ridiculous. It was just kind of like it was like vanilla ice cream 9-8, right? So is there anything sort of on the field related that you're looking at and you're like, that's where I'm going to get my fun for the Saints? Like I got to manufacture my own fun because DA's boring. And this team might be average or below average or whatever. Is there anything you're looking for? Like that's where I'm gonna get my fun.
What was the game last year? Which one was it where? What was the big comeback? The big comeback win last year, like super early in the season. What was it?
I mean, you're thinking of the Falcons 2 years ago. I mean, there wasn't.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, Jesus. You know, the boring just blurs together, Kevin.
Wait. Just like the one. No, I could have swore it was Derek Carr saying something to Rashid, and then they.
The Tennessee. It wasn't like a big comeback, but it was like the Saints were winning. They were up 1, and it was 3rd down, and he told Rashid, he's like, just freaking run, man. Just freaking run, and I'll hit you. And they threw him the pass, and they ran out the clock.
So it was okay. Sorry, I confused. All right, I honestly, in my brain, I thought that was a 4th quarter thing.
It was. I mean, it was the 4th quarter. It was like to run out the clock.
I thought it led to a scoring play. See, this is. God, my brain is fried.
Yeah. Getting old.
So, but my overall point, the point that I was getting to, was that was the highlight of the 2020 season, was that.
And team decision.
Right, and team decision. So, great. The season was perfectly bookend. I mean,
it really was.
Like, the last 5 weeks of the season, we go 4-1, and you know, things kind of turned around a little bit. Like Derek Carr
look good.
Derek, like the defense played great in all of the 4 wins. Like the defense played well enough to well, no, the running game was shit there.
Yeah.
The running game was shit
except for the Atlanta game.
Right, but I'm looking at all these. I'm looking at these columns here. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, the
Carr
running game, the
wasn't-
Saints running game was shit.
Like,
but to your point,
Carr had a bad year in terms of production. I'm looking at he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 5 games throwing under 200 yards. No 400-yard games. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games throwing over 300.
You should white knight for Derek Carr. You should defend Derek Carr every single week of the 2024 season.
Listen,
just for fun.
Listen, I white knighted for Aaron Brooks probably a year and a half too long. Like I was still hung up on, man, he threw 24 touchdown passes and only had 8 interceptions.
I still do.
And I was still defending the guy.
I still do.
And then finally, by the time I turned on the guy, it had already gone south. I'm not going to make that mistake again with a quarterback. So, but again, I've predicted that Derek Carr is going to, so I put my name on that. I want him to.
Well, we'll have the prediction podcast where me and you predict over unders for everybody. We'll do that during train. We'll do that during training camp one Friday.
But again, if Saints fans want to shit on Derek Carr, if they want to shit on DA,
that's
okay. Okay, fine, but I don't want to hear, a fan from the Cleveland Browns or the Lions or the Falcons or a fan from the Arizona Cardinals.
That's right. We will not take it.
Talking some kind of shit about it. I don't want to hear a fan from the Vikings either.
Yeah, they got a midget at quarterback. That's what it was. That's what I want to say. A Viking fan jumped into my mentions the other day from a tweet from way long ago, and it was probably a bot, and he was like, "Oh, y'all have one of them." I'm like, "Listen, buddy, y'all just got a midget quarterback from Michigan who I don't remember a damn thing he did for an undefeated Michigan team. I don't remember a single goddamn thing J.J. McCarthy ever did for the Michigan Wolverines. And you have entrusted your franchise with him. Shut up, go away." But anyway, thanks for joining us. This has been fun. And if Saints fans, you're watching this podcast, believe me, don't be like Kevin and wishy-washy. Take it from me. Do not take crap from other fan bases. So for Kevin, for Thomas, I'm Ralph. Thanks for joining us. Go to Saints Happy Hour, support the show. And until next time, the bar is closed.